Oh, there's plenty to laugh about coming up.
Yeah, what up, everybody? No intro tonight. So we saved you that misery.
Yeah, we're trying to. We got to cut corners around here.
We saved you that misery. Uh-oh. I got it.
Yeah, we're trying to. We got to cut corners. Do you? Is that
I got it.
you?
I got it. Yeah, it was my other browser.
Yeah,
sorry.
for once it wasn't me.
Nope.
How's it going, everybody?
All right.
So, got a little something different for you guys tonight. Well, not too different. I don't know if you guys recall a little while back, one of my earlier videos was Corey Feldman, comparing Corey Feldman to Chile, some of their behavior. Hey, Flat Derp. Yeah, I saw those Derp. I will get back to you as soon as we're done on here. Hope you're doing well, buddy. But there's some similarities between Mr. Feldman and Mr. DeCastro. Corey Feldman obviously isn't as like an unhinged maniac and kind of sort of spiteful the way Chile is, but his level of delusion is certainly equivalent. And as you may or may not know, if you saw my video, Corey makes music. That's his impossible dream. Chile fancies himself a constitutional law scholar. Corey Feldman fancies himself to be Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And Derp, yeah, Feldman and Haim were heroes as good. Yeah, look, this Corey Feldman's had an amazing acting career, and he was a great actor even as a kid. I mean, Stand By Me, The Goonies, Lost Boys, even The Burbs. If you ever seen The Burbs, he's got a little part in that. He was even one of his earliest roles was on Cheers. Actually, he was one of a little league team that Coach was coaching.
Was he in Gremlins?
Yeah, Gremlins. That's right, Gremlins.
Yeah.
You're right. Also, I think he was even in a TV show or the movie The Bad News Bears. But he's been acting since he was really young. Never really had to have a job or anything like that, Yeah, Burbs is awesome. Very underrated movie, Patrick. So, oh yeah, and that's right. He was one of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah, absolutely. The voices. So, yeah, huge career. For some reason, he wants to. He's convinced that he was friends with Michael Jackson, right? Really good friends. And he's always clearly wanted to emulate him. If you've ever seen any of his, music videos or anything like that, he's always wearing like sparkly jackets and gloves and stuff and hats, and kind of emulates Michael's hairstyle a little bit, with the little curl hanging in front, stuff like that. And his dancing is clearly based on stuff he learned from Michael, but Michael Jackson had
tried to execute that, right?
Right. I mean, he was gifted with it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You and I can perform the same movements, but if you don't have, an inherent grace, if you don't have some sort of, inherent rhythm, he's doing the moves, but they just look, because he doesn't have that. It just looks like a joke. I mean, and I salute him for getting up there, man. Getting on a stage is never easy, but I feel like he's like Chile. He has been told directly to his face, or I'm sure he's definitely familiar with the online criticisms of him and stuff, and a lot of people just go to his shows as a troll thing, because he's recently had a few, I can't remember, it was a couple of years ago, if I'm remembering correctly, he did an appearance on the Today Show which was just like, what the hell is going on? I don't want to play it because I feel like they will copyright strike you.
No, absolutely.
But you may or may not be. You can go watch it. It's really kind of shocking because he's so amateurish, and generally on a national show like that, you're not gonna get anything that's not pretty polished. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying it's like high quality, but it's not bad, like badly performed, or you know what I'm saying. So it's really like, I mean, I've been in better bands than his band. Okay, so it's well, let's just start watching the video because you'll kind of see where I'm going with this. It's very there's some very Chile like moments. Like I said, I don't think he's not as toxic a person as Chile is, certainly. And also and like Chile, he had some childhood things going on, I think, with him. It's really hard to know how much of these allegations and stuff are true. Like he says, like Michael Jackson never touched him, but he says other people in the industry does. But the problem is he also like faked himself getting stabbed a few years back. You know what I mean? Like he got admitted to the hospital claiming he'd been stabbed, and he had like just like a very superficial like cut on him or something in some crazy story. The point is, he's like doesn't seem all that reliable. Is that plus, just walking around with the sort of level of delusion about his music career makes you wonder, like, is this guy's judgment really that good? And plus he did a lot of drugs when he was younger, so who knows what that did to his brain. But yeah, I'm not gonna talk about any of that stuff. This is
you sure?
Yeah, no, this is just about the music. I was just acknowledging that was like part of his past, and I'm not just trying to wholesale make fun of the guy. You know what I mean? I just wanted to point out some of and there's a point. It was pretty mind blowing when I listened to this earlier. I'm glad I did, because if I heard it when we were doing the show here, I like probably would have choked to death. Because I was like on the floor. So hold on, this has got to load up here for a second. So basically, he's got a new album out, or a new song. I don't know if it's an album. Yeah, it's a new album, and he just released this song, and he's going on Howie Mandel's podcast, which, if it weren't for that, I would never probably watch in a million years if it weren't. Is this uploaded, or I don't know. Sorry, I'm just I downloaded the whole podcast. It's about an hour long, so I've just tried to add it to StreamYard. I'm not sure. It's not giving me any progress telling me what's happening. So anyway, so he's going on Howie Mandel's podcast to promote it, and Howie's interviewing about his music stuff, and it's it's very entertaining. And if this doesn't load up soon, I will probably just play it from here. Let's just go ahead and do that, because I don't feel like waiting. All right, you guys see that?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Hold on.
There it is. All right, I've got to add it. If you're not going to add it.
Oh, that's right. Wait.
Now you have control.
Do me a favor, Ram. Trying to add the other thing I put up there instead. The one
Okay,
next
one
to it.
that just popped up.
Okay, there we go. All right, that's it.
You would,
That was,
you know.
So bullshit. That's Corey Feldman's kid, by the way. He sits in for part of this interview until he gets bored and leaves. It's pretty funny.
Me down,
All
but
right.
today this is very exciting. So one of the reasons that you've been so nice, you've been nice enough to come in, is Corey is about to embark, I think starting April, on a big
July.
Tour. Okay, I'm wrong.
Sorry.
July. I call July April because I'm Canadian, and there is an exchange rate. There is an exchange rate. We have a shorter year than you.
It's like a happy
April, which in
July
American
Fool's Day.
is July. But on a big, you said a stadium tour?
Yes. Well, amphitheater. We call it amphitheater.
And
It's a stadium tour. Well, yes. I've got to see if there's a way I can check these these venues he's playing at against the number of people they actually hold and the number of tickets he actually sells. Because let's just say I have my doubts.
Amphitheater tour, a big tour.
Yeah.
And
12,000 to 60,000 seats per night.
Okay.
Sort of thing.
So, which is huge. And along with that, you.
Yeah. I mean, do you guys picture Corey Feldman being able to bring 12,000, let alone 60,000 people?
Are going to be debuting a brand new song, and you've been nice enough. We are going to let you hear that song, and I got to tell you,
A world exclusive.
I have a world exclusive. His
Nobody
new
else
song.
has heard it.
But can I just say, without revealing, we're going to hear it really shortly. But I heard the song.
Yes.
And I love the song, and I'm not just saying that because he's sitting there and his son is sitting there. I love the song. But it kind of made me a little bit emotional because it is probably, in my mind, and I don't know music. I mean, I judge it on AGT, the most authentic thing that I've seen you do. And I'm going to tell you as an outsider. I also, when I.
Do you think, after you listen to it, you tell me if you think Corey's band would even qualify on the show that America's Got Talented that Howie hosts?
I've watched you before. I felt that you are you seem to be influenced a lot by maybe Michael Jackson and people who you looked up to when you were much younger.
You think so?
This new song has none of that, and it only tells your story and your feeling. And I think it is, if nothing else, you know, if you don't want to listen to another piece of this podcast, don't. But the song is kind of incredibly truthful. Maybe to you, it's not sad. It's a kind of a slapback at your life and your world and how you've been received. Yeah. Am I?
Yes, absolutely.
Hitting so to that end, it is a must hear, and it's totally different than anything else that I have heard you do.
Well, I'll put it this way: we actually do a lot of rock. So the thing is, what becomes popular are the hits, right? The hits, the pop songs, the top 40. So we've got like 3 top 40 Billboard hits, and then we've got like the cult.
Anybody name those? Apparently that's true, but he had just a couple songs that like cracked the top 40. You know what I mean? One was from a movie I think that he did, but it wasn't. These were not hits, right? So if anybody can name any of those 3, I will be quite surprised. Because I mean, you know, I have a pretty good musical knowledge, especially from the 80s and 90s. I guess I think one of them is more recent, from something recent he did, but again, only like a minor hit. The biggest hit I remember him being associated with on the radio was crappy song by Michael Damian from the Little Dream movie. Is a really lame remake of a really, in my opinion, lame song to begin with. Rock On. You guys have ever heard that song? He talks a little bit about Michael Damian a little bit later on, and I have a story I want to tell about him too, because it's very funny, I think.
classics, right? And all of those always kind of have that dance vibe. A lot of them are the upbeat, the dance stuff. People like watching me dance. That's always been a thing. And of course, when I dance,
Oh yeah, buddy.
I grew up studying from Michael. I learned from Michael. And so a lot of the stuff that I design musically, sonically, beats, that sort of thing, has got to have that same kind of drive. It's got to have that thing that makes me dance. It makes me want to move so that it comes alive when I perform it. So those are the ones people know. Those are the ones that stick in people's head. But if you actually ever listen to one of my albums, you'd understand that they're very diverse. And I actually have a whole separate
Yeah, I don't recommend that, by the way.
project that's another band with a couple of the guys from Pink Floyd. John Caron and Scott Page from Pink Floyd are in the band with me. It's an amazing band called Truth Movement. Storm Thurgeson, who did all of Pink Floyd's artwork through the years, actually came back and did our artwork, did all of the concept art, which was
What do you think of that, Ram? As a Pink Floyd fan. Actually, yeah, Spirit Hunters, as I've seen other interviews with him, he's the Steven Seagal of the music industry. Actually, Steven Seagal has a band too, and as you know, goofy as he is, he's a way better musician than Corey Feldman. Or really, I mean, that's not saying very much, but yeah, I mean, he's got definitely more musical sensibility than Corey Feldman by a long yard.
amazing. So it's a really great album. We have a couple albums from that band, but one with everybody. And so that whole thing is like listening to like a modern day classic rock band, like Pink Floyd meets the Beatles meets Stones, that kind of vibe.
How would you describe this new song, this new sound?
This
It's not
is very
new-
different. You know, here's the thing. I wanted something to fit this tour because this tour is with Limp Bizkit. So Limp Bizkit is the headliner. Fred Durst was kind enough to ask us to come along. So I'm very honored.
Yeah, and he put him at the very bottom of the poster there in purple. There, he's last build. Those 3 top 40 hits ain't helping him now. I mean, that's pretty bad when the guy from Limp Bizkit ranks you last. Yeah, sorry, Diver Dan. Yeah, we're doing something a little different here, but it is sort of a Chile comparison, and just I watched a little bit of this the other day, and it just struck me as something that you guys might find entertaining. So if not, I apologize.
And flattered that he thought of me. It's beautiful. He's a great guy. We did a song together. We actually did a song together on my last album, Angelic to the Core. My new album's called Love Left too, but Angelic to the Core, which was the album before this, Fred and I did a great song together. He's amazing. So years later,
and you said you're doing a video together, right?
yeah, he's going to direct the video. Hopefully he'll be in it as well. And then on the tour, it's not just him and I, but it's Bones, it's Nate No Face, Riff Raff, who's emceeing. So what he wants is like kind of like almost like a Spinal Tap variety show where you never know what's going to happen. You don't know what's real, what's not. It's just madness, craziness. Like every night is going to be. Remember how there were happenings in the 70s? Yes. So he wants to create like a happening.
Hey, Ram, you remember happenings in the 70s?
No, I don't.
Yeah, that's right. I think he meant the 60s, but yeah. Yeah, this is good stuff. Somebody mentioned, yeah, about Fred Durst earlier. Yeah, he's buddies with Fred Durst. Yeah.
Every night of this tour. So you never know what's real and what's not.
So what
You
is the
never know
name of
what's
the
gonna
tour?
Happen. It's called Loserville.
Loserville.
Well, or as I like to call it, Low Serve Ill.
Low Serville. Loserville. We will have
Low serve ill. Yeah.
in this, Jeremy, you'll put in, there'll be a click so that they can buy our tickets
link.
available, a link
Yes,
to it.
yes. Well, so obviously to get regular tickets, you can go through Ticketmaster or whatever giant venue you go to in your local area. But
But here's the but.
if you want to meet me and you want to come backstage and say hi to me and the band and get pictures and sign autographs and all that fun stuff, you can do that exclusively at coreyfeldman.net. We're selling the tickets for the VIP meet and greets, and it's available right now. So you can just go to your website and go to coreyfeldman.net, and there you have it.
Corey, are you
Yeah. By the way, regarding autographs, he makes a decent amount of money going to autograph shows and stuff like that. and he's such a dick about it. He charges you extra money in order not to personalize it to you, because he's like concerned about aftermarket people selling his autograph aftermarket, you know, like, so it's a way to discourage people from that. It's
Yeah,
like,
right. There's a
listen,
huge market for
fucking-
Corey Feldman.
First of all, I'm kind of like, I mean, my wife is a big fan. I actually got his autograph on something once for her. It was because he was going to be at a comedy club I used to work at, and you know, it wasn't too big of a hassle. You know, I wasn't going to go like wait. It was part of a podcast. This guy Rob Paulson, who's a voice actor, does, and the shows were generally pretty good anyway. But I actually didn't go into this one, and I was listening to it from the outer lounge, and I remember he just sounded like he was just kind of crybabying a lot of, you know, like sort of bitching about like his, you know, things a little bit, you know, it kind of had that kind of just tone to it. And so I was like, geez, man, this guy, you know, the things I do for my wife, you know. So she had a Goonies action figure that was what I got signed. And sure enough, he had to write it to her. Luckily, you can wipe it off the plastic at a later time, so I was able to get it. But he's got an overinflated sense of his own value. First of all, if I'm paying you for your autograph, the fuck do you care what I do with it, you know, afterwards? That's our transaction's done, you know what I mean? No, I'm not a fan of his. No, my wife. Yeah. Look, like I said, his acting all day long. Sure, he was in some great movie. I don't know, I haven't seen anything he's done lately, but yeah, no, I have respect for his craft as an actor and everything. I think he's got a couple. His springs need to be tightened in his head a little bit. We're just sort of talking about his delusion of that he's this amazing musician, and it's, you know, it's like Chile, because you could tell this guy to his face, you know, you're just not that good, you know, but he doesn't seem to be able to absorb that. So it's fascinating to me. And unlike Chile, he has a demonstrable talent in another field, yet he's just so hung up on this that he, you know, he just won't give up the ghost. I find it amusing. And again, apologies if not, but.
Acting at all?
I'm acting like I care. No, I'm just kidding. No. Yes, I am actually. I kind of went on soft retirement for the last few years, so I could
Like
really
Joe Dante
focus.
passed.
Yeah, being more selective. So, you know, but I kind of wanted to put that on the back burner so I could really focus, because, you know, growing up, every record label I would ever meet with, which always slammed the door on my face, but they would always say, "Oh, you're an actor."
Sorry, I just had to laugh at that.
We can't take you seriously because you're never going to dedicate the time that we need for you to make this your number one priority. And I would always say, yes, I will. And they didn't believe me, so they would just always slam the door in my face.
Now, do you think that's really the reason, or do you think he like had a meeting with some record label and they just panicked and they didn't want to offend him, you know? But the thing is, actors have been releasing albums since the dawn. It probably started in the, well, who knows? Bing Crosby was an actor and a singer, right? So, but I'm talking about like cash-in albums. Those have been going on forever. You know, Batman, the TV show, like freaking Burgess Meredith, Frank Gorshin, Adam West, and Burt Ward all released singles, you know, and some of them also released full out, fancied themselves more musicians. John Travolta was a big one in the 70s. He released several albums. So that, you know, kind of teen idol-y sort of stuff, but he was really big at the time. So, you know, he was he was still making movies with Corey Haim and stuff during this part, and he was sort of considered a teen. So I don't know, man. Something does not ring true about this reasoning here, but at any rate.
And I thought about that, and I was like, you know what? I've got to prove to myself that I'm willing to take that time and dedicate it to being the best that I can be. Because why do it if you can't be the best at your craft? So I obviously work very, very, very hard to improve all the time, to make myself better, to grow. And so I spent the last 3-4 years doing nothing.
Yeah, evidently.
But music, with, you know, an occasional cameo here or there sort of thing, just to keep people happy. But really, it's been about the music, the touring, writing. I mean, we've put out, the last album I put out was actually a box set. And so there were 4 CDs and 2 DVDs. We made a whole documentary. We went into the archives and pulled all this great footage from the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s of me performing. So we've put together this great collection. We've put together demos and unreleased material that have never come out before, stuff from all the way back in the 80s, movie soundtracks that have never been released for people to buy the music. And then a brand new album with like 18 new songs on it. So it's been very, very busy. We got a lot of work done, and it's beautiful. The packaging is beautiful. It's all beautiful.
And now a new thing.
You guys saw the album cover, right? Yeah, it's gorgeous. That's maybe the answer is that because most of those actor related projects were just sort of cash in type of deals. You know, releasing it while they had a show on TV and stuff like that. Maybe what happened is Corey somehow made a demo tape, and it was like Boogie Nights. If you guys remember Dirk Diggler, when he goes to record those songs, maybe it was like that. And he didn't, because you would think that they would be able to hire some songwriter to write him a bunch of cheesy stuff that could be hit songs, and then have him go in there and perform it or whatever. But maybe he said, no, I want to do my own stuff, and like took him like a Boogie Nights style demo. And they were like, so long. I don't know.
Love Left 2.1 the box set.
What is 22? You're wearing 22. I see it on your
my necklace,
and your necklace, your jacket, and your son is 3 years away from that.
That's right. Imagine what festivities we'll have the day he turns 22. Oh my God.
I didn't even think about it.
Yeah, no. I think about it.
Tell me something about. Tell me something.
Wait, what is 22?
22 is my lucky number.
Okay.
But I was also thinking about maybe changing my name to just 22.
Are you serious?
Well, maybe.
You're going to go the Prince route. Yeah.
Right. Prince called himself the symbol or the artist or whatever.
Yeah.
Why not? Exactly.
Why not?
Yeah. 22. Now his kid's seems, I'm not making fun of his kid, but his kid seems a little, doesn't seem like the brightest young man. I'm sure he's perfectly nice. I'm not trying to slam on him, but just be prepared.
Tell me something about your father we don't know.
Ooh, good question.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I'd say patience.
He has patience.
Don't you think I have a lot of patience waiting for that answer?
You guys have something in common.
Yes.
Comedy stylings of Howie Mandel, everybody. Yeah. Yeah, he is, Sean, the only one who thinks he's that important, and that's why this is sort of so amusing to me.
Gonna say patience, because most people see him as like, you know, he's a dancer and he does acting and stuff like that, but he's really patient. He does a lot of work when it comes to his life and his character. So I see a patient man.
That's
Was
wonderful.
he patient with you as a dad?
Yeah,
Good
I'd
dad?
say so. I'd say he's very patient. He's observant and patient.
I love this. I love that you're here with him, that you work
Thank
together, because working with your children can be incredibly trying.
It's because I beat him so well.
If you didn't know, that's Howie Mandel's daughter, and then his son is running the show behind the scenes there too. So
No, but
It's the worst.
I've never been an advocate for working with family or children.
Right.
Dad, can you fix your fucking mic?
as he's sitting here with his daughter. You see this? This episode should be called Family Ties.
Did you hear what he said? You're not wearing it. My son is just giving me words of encouragement. My son is not Zen.
Okay.
He said, "Dad, fix your fucking mic."
Oh, nice.
That's Corey's kid's name is Zen, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, my son's spoken to me like that once or twice.
Alex, what is it about me that nobody knows? Uh-oh. No, you know what? No.
Everyone else needs.
Wait, this is not fair. We can't hear.
Trying to-
Put the headphones
Whatever
on.
the opposite of
Came out on the 22nd of, I think it was October.
Oh yeah, see that's what I
22.
he's explaining the 22 now.
622.
Everything comes out on a 22. Should I tell you that? Every album that I've released, my book had 22 chapters, came out on the 22nd of, I think it was October. My last album, the one before the box set, Angelic to the Core, double CD, 2 discs, 22 songs.
Masterpiece. Yeah, observant. Yeah, observant, but clearly not self-aware. Yvonne.
He did say
there's
box
like all
set.
these.
Yeah. He released the box set. Yeah. His
Okay, I'll go back.
Scope of his music career.
I'll go back
So
to it now.
large. Yeah.
Hidden like Taylor Swift does that too with
Yeah.
her.
And
You
she's
know, all
got
the
the
hidden-
song 22,
Yeah.
Feeling 22. I love that.
That's your favorite Taylor Swift song.
It's the only one I know the name of.
You said to me that I was asking you about something before we came in here, and you said it was something on TV, and you go, oh, you don't watch TV.
I don't, no.
You don't watch any TV.
I don't have time. Mm-mm.
You don't watch TV. Are you online?
I'm online constantly. Yeah, I'm always online. But I watch the news.
Because you said you're preparing to become the president.
I'm preparing to run for president. Whether
Are you
I
really?
Are you
become
being
president.
Are you being serious?
At some point,
Yeah.
yes.
There it is. That was the part that broke me. I was like, oh my God, it is Chile. But he's not even going for governor. He's Corey Feldman, of course. Yeah, this is great.
Not now.
Is that an exclusive announcement, or have you talked about this before?
No. Well, I don't know. That's good. I guess it is exclusive. I've never talked
Are you being?
about it
I'm being
publicly.
serious.
I'm being very serious. At some point in the future, yes, I would like to run once all this craziness is over with, because I feel we're in a pretty crazy place. And if we have our democracy, and if we are able to continue voting in president in the future, then yes, I will run.
What is?
You don't have a certain time frame, like in a
Maybe the next 10 to 15 years.
And what do you think you can offer that we don't have? What is? Go ahead.
Love, positive energy, hope, togetherness, all the things that we're missing, compassion, empathy. These are the things I think that everybody on this planet needs more of. And I think if we all brought ourselves together under those concepts and had a leader who actually cared about those things, that we could teach as an example to the rest of the world how to live unified and stop trying to divide us and instead bring us all together, because we're all one people. And at the end of the day, that's what people forget. People forget we're all the same. We're all flesh and blood. We all have kids that we worry about. We all have our brothers and sisters we care about, our partners we care about. We're all the same. We don't want to see misery or sadness for our loved ones. So why should we wish it on anybody else? Right?
Wow. That's a listen, a debut
Heavy, man.
of your song is amazing, and I'm going to have you go and play it next, and then I want to talk about it a little bit. And also, I wasn't expecting, and it's not an announcement; it's an announcement that could be made in the next decade.
Right.
But how do you feel when you Zen? Do you know that's he aspired to that?
Yeah, I'm aware. I know that he is very active when it comes to his thoughts for the government and stuff like that.
Patience.
I think it's very interesting. I think our leaders now are focused on problems that are outside of our control. Therefore, it's a distraction mostly. So yeah, love is the way, because it's all about God.
Do you think that there is a possibility that your father could be the president?
That seems to be pretty far in the future, I'd say. But anything's possible. Anything's possible.
Let's put it this. Let's ask a better question. Have you seen your father pull off things that he said this is going to happen one day, and everybody said that's impossible, and then it happened?
Yeah.
So
Wow.
I teach him that when we dream, we can realize our reality. We can believe in our future and realize that reality to be whatever we want it to be. We create, we craft our own reality.
All right. So what I'm going to ask you
Do you
to do.
Yeah, clearly.
Disagree with that?
No, I believe for me, it's fascinating and unbelievable and dreamlike that I'm even sitting here doing what I'm doing today. You know,
Good deflection, Howie.
doing, I don't know.
Do you
what
enjoy it?
I love it. And I feel lucky and I feel like I'm going to wake up and it's going to be over one day. I don't believe that there's going to be more. I just believe
No,
that
you're the captain of your ship.
we're the captain of all our ships, but sometimes you lose control of that wheel, right? You know, sometimes the current is a lot stronger than your driving capability.
Howie's really trying to tell him he's, maybe, yeah, he's trying to be diplomatic, telling him he's wrong. Might not be 100% right about that.
And sometimes we got to tally that sail to the left or to the right.
At any moment, you can crash into an iceberg with the drop of one more
Okay, Debbie Downer.
prolapse,
Okay.
prolapse anus.
Okay, Miss Titanic.
One more prolapsed anus,
Yeah, bring
and
up
you are
the
right
Titanic.
back into the iceberg.
Up there.
Anuses? What is that?
That's a prolapsed anus. We're
Yeah.
not taking a shot of that.
Yeah.
But,
Why?
people's anuses fall out.
Did yours?
Look at Zen's face.
Yeah.
It's not so Zen anymore.
Yeah, that was very un-Zen-like.
No, I
What-
posted that on, and I got almost canceled.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, at any moment, he could drive his ship into an iceberg.
Right. I
And
got
then
you.
your
That-
asshole
well,
falls out.
Yeah.
And then your asshole falls. Very nice.
Is that a good lead up to the?
That's a perfect way to segue into my song. Thanks.
There's a new song. Do you want to say
Certainly is.
something before you play it, or do you want to say something
Well,
after
let's
it?
say let's not take ourselves too seriously, folks. The song is called "The Joke," and it's as much of a joke as you want it to be.
Okay, go play.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, it's up there. It does not get any better. If you want to go listen to the rest of it, that's pretty. You've gotten the gist of it. There's no amazing instrumental. That it's that the whole time, and yeah. So yeah, you're welcome for not playing it.
Wow, is what I have to say. And, I want you to speak to it first before I tell you. I did tell you before you play.
Another good save. He's buying himself some time so he can think of something.
It that I thought that this was authentic because I think you speak of yourself, this little circus that you created or that happens around you. That's how the song starts with that kind of circus and people laughing and you talk.
The mockery. The mockery.
Yeah.
You
Okay,
talk.
so basically,
You talk.
as an artist, I have always been authentic. I've always been true to what my beliefs are. If you listen to one of the very first songs I ever wrote when I was 15 years old, it's called "It's So Simple," which is actually a very authentic rock song, just like a nice acoustic guitar that builds with like all organic instrumentation. And I wrote it when I was 15 about how the world could be a better place if we believed in it and if we all made an effort to be a little less selfish and a little more selfless. And so,
Now, you remember at the beginning, I said this kid's just been in show business his whole life, so he doesn't really experience reality the way the rest of us do.
So the song's called It's So Simple. So the point being, that's always been important to me. It's always been important to put a positive message into the song. If you're going to make music, if you're going to make art, do something that's inspiring to people. That's part one of it. And then as a result of being an actor, you know, I'm sitting here. Oh, Zen is.
Are we still on air?
Yeah, we're still on air.
I thought you were recording. I was about to
His kid just got worked. Walked away.
go chill.
Go chill. Go chill.
You could go chill. Yeah.
All the patients.
All right.
Nice talking with you, Zen. Thanks for joining us today.
Right in the middle of your father's dissertation.
That means he was bored. That means he's done. He doesn't care. Moving
my
on. 3 seconds. That's all we get these days. 3
You talk-
seconds.
talk about
attention
authentic.
span. Right. Exactly.
Oh, are we still on the air?
So anyway, as you can see, not a Hollywood kid.
That's
not
my
a
favorite
Hollywood
moment
kid.
of this whole
Very-
podcast.
Very authentic.
Okay, go ahead.
So anyway, so now that my kid's fallen asleep, where was I? All right.
I don't know.
I don't either. Okay, so point being that like I always, you know, was very kind of, you know, legit about my art, and it meant something to me. And as an actor, unfortunately, in those days, in the 80s especially, people did not want to accept the fact that you could be an actor and you could be a singer-songwriter and a dancer and a producer and all.
Yeah, that's never happened before. We've never seen anybody crossing over those impenetrable boundaries.
These things, it was impossible, because what happened was, like, in the 70s, there was a bunch of cheesy actor albums that came out, from John Travolta to Scott Baio to, you know, just everybody that was a popular teen actor suddenly had an album, and they all flopped. And
Well,
so because,
John Travolta had that #1 hit from Grease.
well, right, because it was Grease. You know? But I'm saying, like, solo album, his solo album. Did you ever hear his solo album?
No.
That's my point.
Okay.
So there was a lot of those that came out. Like, everybody, Alyssa Milano had an album. Everybody had an album
Right.
before me.
Right.
And so by the time I came around and said, hey, here's my album, they were like, yeah, right, whatever, dude. Nobody took it seriously, because they were like, we've seen this. We've seen this story. They all flop. Nobody cares. So I was fighting against that current always. But then on the other
Again, I'm not quite sure that's how things happened, but
side of the coin, I've got Michael Jackson as a close friend. And I play Michael Jackson my song, What's Up With the Youth. And he says, Corey, that's a #1 song. That song literally can go to #1. And if you let me, I will walk it into Tommy Mottola at CBS Records right now, and I will make that song #1. And I was like, thank you, Michael. I really appreciate that. But no, I'm good.
Why? Why no?
Well, because 2 reasons. One, I was a real friend to him, and I didn't want him to think that I was just another leech sucking off of his teat to try to get something. You know, that wasn't my intention. My intention was to play him a song and see if he liked it and what he thought. And to hear Michael Jackson tell you that the song's a hit and could be #1, what else do you
Well,
need?
did he want to sing it?
No, he wanted to help me go to that place. And my other part of it was, if I'm going to be a success in the music industry, I have to earn it. I have to earn it the hard way. I have to, you know, play the crappy clubs. I have to get paid $150 for a gig and sweat it out and have beer bottles thrown at me, and all the stuff that I had to go through for decades, way longer than most artists, I'm sure, but, you know, for decades, I literally went through this.
Me too.
Taking the bottom of the barrel and tough.
See, he's acting like he still is not at the bottom of like he's somehow risen off of the bottom of the barrel. But I mean, come on. Yeah. And also judgment. If Michael Jackson tells you got a #1 hit song and he can help you make it a #1 hit song. And the funny thing is, he says, yeah, I want to make it under my own steam. Meanwhile, he's going out and dressing like Michael Jackson and copying all his dance moves. I mean, yeah, this kid's judgment is just a tad bit off.
It out and proving to people that I was serious about my art, that I wasn't going to just ride on Michael's tail coats.
But isn't that this business is predicated on relationships?
Yeah.
And do you regret that you didn't let him do that?
Sure. there's parts of me that go, damn it, it could have been so much easier.
And you still have a positive view of Michael.
I do. But
You don't believe the stories?
no. But
I don't believe riding someone's coattails.
But okay, we'll get back to that in a second. But the inside joke. But the point being that I didn't want to be Michael Jackson's protege, even though sometimes people kind of treat me that way anyway. But imagine if I did that, then that's all it would be. And then there wouldn't be any room for my Truth Movement band. There wouldn't be any room for a song like The Joke, because now you're in a box. You're Michael Jackson 2, or, Mini Michael, or White Michael, or whatever way you want to frame it. But that would have been it. That would have been it. And that's
yeah, but again, he's going out and dressing like him, dancing with him. I mean, yeah, and also, yeah, again, more impenetrable barriers. There's plenty of bands that are artists that switch directions, switch tones. I mean, the fact of the matter is Corey Feldman's maybe 22, the number 22, maybe that stands for like his scale of musical ability out of 100, because he's just objectively not good. You know what I mean? Like, from a songwriting perspective, from a performance perspective, he just sucks at it. You know what I mean? He says he's been doing this nothing but music for the last few years. Again, that's what you have to show for it. You know what I mean? Like, dude, like, I mean, give up, it's crazy. But, he's lucky that he has a lifestyle that he's lived that's enabled him to be able to do this vanity stuff. But again, I feel like it's like Chile or somebody like that. You could just, I mean, poor Howie, he's trying to be the voice for a reason there. How often, yeah. You're in trouble when Howie Mandel's your voice of reason. He's saying, like, why wouldn't you, why, he's asking him. But he just, the veil of delusion is just too thick to get through, I think. Yeah.
very limiting. And I was like, you know what? No, I think I got to be known as my own entity. And so I fought through and I made that happen. So the point is, I took that.
Yeah, he's definitely, but not in the way he's thinking.
Same song, and I went on to the Howard Stern show for my first live performance. Actually, okay, wait, I take that back.
When was that?
My first live performance was for a song called Something in Your Eyes, which was a song that I wrote for Dream a Little Dream with Michael Damian. And that song was on the film soundtrack. And I performed it at the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards. I was actually the very first performer at the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards back in 1988. And then I also did a performance of it about 6 months later.
You wouldn't want to get confused with Michael Jackson, Corey. So this story that he's coming up telling about the Howard Stern show is pretty funny. But Michael Damian, the guy you mentioned, if you don't know who he is, he was a pretty boy soap opera actor, Young and the Restless, maybe, if I remember correctly. I remember my grandmother used to watch it, and I remember just the guy just, he just looked like a
right. And you bought Playboy for the articles,
right? Yeah, right. No, but at any rate, he did a remake of that song "Rock On," which was I don't remember who did it originally, but for that Dream a Little Dream movie that the two Coreys were in. And it is terrible. But and I never liked that Michael Damian guy. He just irritated the shit out of me, you know what I mean? Minimal talent, but has kind of like Corey Feldman, obviously thought a lot of themselves, and that's also disproves Corey's theory about musicians and actors too, right? But anyway, I always thought the guy sucked. And he would do little concerts, kind of like Corey Feldman, limited audience, probably mostly teenage girls and shit like that, people who don't know any better. And he was performing it somewhere in public, and some guy just jumped up on stage and kicked his ass, like it just beat the shit out of him, which, not right, but they called the guy away and they asked him why he did it, and he just said somebody had to. Made me laugh. But anyway, it scared the guy so bad he stopped performing live too. So I guess mission accomplished as far as I'm concerned.
A show called Improv Tonight. If you remember, Improv Tonight was Bud Freeman's show. So I did that as a bad choice. That one was on me, doing a song as the host of a stand-up show, because I think people expected it to be funny. And then when it wasn't funny, they were able to take this footage years later and alter it with fake edits and make it look like the crowd was not gelling and all this weird stuff. They cut in all these weird parts to it. It's a whole other story. But the point being, there's been a constant through line and a
who could have seen the again, wow,
constant theme that started with Howard Stern, because I went on Howard Stern to perform What's Up with the Youth, which was this song that Michael said would be #1. And said, well, we're going to do this kind of sketch around you where we're going to make it like Club MTV, but it's going to be Club Howie. That's what he called it, Club Howie. And they're like, so it's Club Howie, and you're going to come on here, and, I'm going to be in my Right Said Fred get up with a bald cap on and, a cool leather outfit, and you're going to dance around, and, I'll be the host, and that'll be the skit. And I said, okay, great, no problem. And I get out there, and they've got a midget in a hula skirt.
A little person.
Thank you. A little person in a hula skirt dancing in front of me. They've got girls in bikinis tossing back and forth a blow-up doll. They've got people acting like they are special needs, shall we say, in diapers and things like that. All of this going on around me, and I'm an 18, 19-year-old kid just trying to play my music. What's Up with the Youth, which is a pretty important song. The words are very meaningful and deep, and it's about how can we raise the bar for the kids in our culture and listen and communicate so that we don't keep making the same mistakes and they end up in drugs and alcohol and all this terrible stuff that's going on, crime and blah, blah, blah. So this was a song for the day, for the a message for the times of bringing our children into the forethought of our minds. That's what the purpose of the song was. And instead it turned into this complete lunacy, lampooned ridiculousness that went completely viral 20 years later.
Wow.
But at the time it was just on his KCAL Channel 9 TV show, and it was terribly embarrassing. And I was like, well, glad nobody will ever see that again. And then, of course, YouTube comes around and they brought it back and it went viral. And now everybody sees that and goes, Corey Feldman's a joke. It's a...
Yeah. Well, if it had been a good performance, nobody would have said anything. And also, you couldn't figure out between the time Howard Stern said it's going to be, a little person and go-go dancers, whatever craziness we're going to do, and you didn't think before that point, you couldn't just say no. Well, the song isn't about that, and I don't really want to associate the song with that. I mean, obviously your convictions weren't that strong about it, but you'll notice the theme here, all of this self-importance, like the song he wrote when he was 15 that was just like a plea for world peace or whatever, and then this song, the What's Up with the Youth and all that. Oh, you want to watch the whole thing, Ram? I had downloaded it too. Might as well.
I'll back off of it if you've got it.
No, it's good. It's I have it here. I'll stop this and let's see. Howard Stern 92.
You want me out?
Huh? Yeah.
You want me
yeah.
back out of it?
Yeah. Put the one I have up there. Well, we don't have to watch the whole thing. You got to add that.
Right now with the song. Let's all start dancing, baby.
So I wanted to listen to it to the chorus, to give it a fair thing. But again, I think we all pretty much got the idea of that. Yeah, he doesn't want to let Michael Jackson take that song to the head of whatever music, Tommy Mottola, whatever music conglomerate he was in charge of. But meanwhile, he's happy to borrow his clothes and his vocal mannerisms, everything else. Yeah, he's a confused little boy. But yeah, he's always sort of lived in just a la la land. And again, not trying to make light of anything that he may or may not have gone through in his adolescence, but delusion. It's incredible, right? All right, Ram, are you there? That was more or less all I had.
I'm here.
I just thought it was worth it to hear him say he was running for president. Oh man, yeah, he's like a nicer, less harmless version of Chile, in a way. I mean, unless you have to, you're unfortunate to listen to his music. If you really want to hear something. Oh, by the way, the keyboard player, I think, is his wife, if I'm not mistaken, and she's not very good, unfortunately. And there's a video out there of him, like, he forces her to sing the Goonies Are Good Enough song, which was originally done by Cyndi Lauper. And the poor girl can barely sing and or play keyboards. So that's a really tough. I mean, it's Cyndi Lauper, so vocally, it's my wife's an amazing singer, and I keep telling her to do it, and she doesn't want to. Just because it's oh my God, Jesus Christ. How many people you figure are in that crowd?
Oh, it's a photographer.
Yeah, I gotta think those people are there ironically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or just to say they went. It's what he's like. He's like the movie The Room that was became like the midnight screening thing. He's like a bad movie night in music form. If that makes sense. He people are just there to watch the train wreck That's what I was when he was describing.
Well, you brought up his wife, and earlier when I was looking into some of this was the one video where it actually showed her playing one or two chords every now and then.
She's limited. she's as limited as he is. But for her to play that song and sing it, good luck. I mean, so it really made her look. He forced her to do it, and she just absolutely slaughtered it. It was sad. But there's another video of Corey playing, I think, "Come Together" or "Get Back." It's some Beatles song, and he's playing drums and singing it at the same time. It's just dreadful. It's like, bro, dude, it's like drunk at a party stuff. You know what I mean? You wonder how that can happen, like that bad, that level of bad. Like, why isn't anybody stopping us, for the love of God? and for him to just go on and on and on, and how long he's been trying to get his music career going, and that was a number of people there to see him for whatever reason. They're there to see him, so whatever. If it makes him happy, that's great. I mean, it's not really doing any harm to the world, but it's just the psychological side of it's just interesting to me. Plus, my wife, she's the one she sends me a lot of these Corey Feldman videos and stuff, and it's just like, oh no, that's not the video. That's not the video, but
it says Corey Feldman, the Lonely Drunks Club Come Together cover.
Is it? Well, he was playing guitar. He was playing drums.
He's playing drums.
Oh, okay. Oh God. Well, as I say, my wife, she's like, I want to go see him in concert, and I'm like, okay, sure. I personally, that's kind of where I draw the line with this.
Yeah.
Like,
girls' night out.
I mean, I find it. I find it interesting to watch him, but I'm not going to give that fucker any money. Like, I draw the line, I can watch funny videos of him for free at home. I mean, I don't blame her for finding it entertaining. Like I said, I like bad movies, I like things that are weird and unusual, but
I take that back. He steps up on that cover. He comes up and moves to the front and sings lead vocals on it on Come Together.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Put it back up if you can.
Well, I can if you want to see it.
Sure.
You didn't sound too happy about it, so.
Oh no, I just didn't want you to get struck, and I didn't want to sit through the whole song either, to be No, that's not the video in any case.
I can tell you this. I had a garage band when I was 16, and we covered it better than that.
Oh yeah, I've been in several bands. Yeah, not all of them great, but a couple of them were far better, more advanced than that.
All right.
Yeah. Anyway, that was all I had. I hope some of y'all found it entertaining or interesting. I mean, it is the lack of self-awareness is sort of stunning.
As your counselor, I'm here to tell you about drugs and alcohol and why they're bad, okay? So first of all, smoking's bad. You shouldn't smoke. And alcohol is bad. You shouldn't drink alcohol. And as for drugs, well, drugs are bad. You shouldn't do drugs. Okay, that about wraps up my introduction. Now,
there you go.
Yep. All righty. Well, that's
well, that totally exhausted me for the evening.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, it's draining to especially listening to his music. It's like, oh God. Draco. Yeah, there's good good, bad, sort of. The ones that are always most hip, if talking about movies, like trauma movies are deliberately, they're low budget, campy a lot of times, stuff like that. There's stuff like that. Then there's stuff where the person making it is just clueless, so clueless about the process that it just produces results that literally having you like questioning everything. It's so bad, it's perplexing. You know what I mean? Yeah, I actually was thinking about starting a secondary sub channel called Dickbag Reviews, where I might like talk about on rotating schedule, strange bad movies like that, and maybe stuff that's like not everybody's seen, but that I consider really good stuff, and maybe some like comedy style reviews of like Steven Seagal movies, or comedies. I don't know if anybody would have any interest whatsoever in that, but it probably wouldn't be for a couple months anyway till things get smoother around here. But I don't know. Someone like Ed Wood, if Ed Wood were alive today, he'd be cleaning up. You know what I mean? It's artists are always misunderstood in their lifetime. But yeah, Ed Wood, he's brought in me. I'm a big fan of that's my favorite Tim Burton movie, to be sure, is Ed Wood. The guy just wanted to make movies and he did it. He's kind of like Corey Feldman in that sense, I guess. But he made his movies and got them out there, and Corey Feldman made his albums and got them out there. So, good for them. Into some reggae. I'm familiar with some reggae, believe it or not. What's going on there, Ram?
Oh, no.
Oh.
Just.
I feel like I took over the show.
You did. But that's
Sorry.
okay. You asked, and I said, okay. I had a rough day, so.
Yeah.
It's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
There's many more days.
Yeah.
I hope.
Yeah. And I wanted, it was nice to talk about something that wasn't.
Yeah, no, you were fired up about it. It's good to have you back. It's good to have you back 100%. If anybody deserves to. I mean, this is as fired up as I've heard you in quite a while. So, and I think the chat would agree. So it's just good to have you back. So if it's something you wanted to do, then there you go, my friend.
Yeah, well, there wasn't much. I mean, not much else going on. Chile's been oddly silent.
Well, there's not much going on there, but there's some good. I'll save it for next week. There's some good backseat banger videos right now.
Yeah. Yeah, your last one with the. You guys haven't seen that video Ram did.
Yeah, YouTube didn't like it too much. They.
Yeah, that was pretty nutso.
They didn't take it down, but they put an age limit on it, so which I couldn't figure out. They wouldn't be specific about it, so I couldn't correct it without just redoing the whole thing. So, yep. But anyway, yeah, pretty crazy stuff.
Agreed. All right, I gotta get going.
Spirit Hunter. Spirit Hunter. I got him. Let's see.
Oh, Hoyt. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I checked. I don't know the specifics on it. Apparently Draco knows something that I'm not privy to because I've tried checking again. His brother's staying pretty mum on Facebook, so he's still alive. He survived. So
Wait, hold on. Sorry, guys. The sunken grave. Chile lost again today. The Ironton thing again. Not sure what that means, but while you're doing that, Ram, I'll go over to
Ironton was dropped.
Was it?
Yeah, they dropped
Oh,
Ironton.
Was that his civil suit? You mean?
Oh,
him suing
yeah, all the criminal stuff.
Oh,
was,
okay.
Probably the civil.
His lawsuit. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Covered by Really Cool News. Okay. I saw that live stream happening, but we were getting ready to go on here, so I couldn't really. It seemed like they had some sort of big news, so I'm assuming that was it. Well, yeah. He's a born loser. A real Munson. I don't know if any of you are fans of Kingpin, but
I did get the last name of that girl. I don't know if you remember the video a little over a week ago in Bloomfield, Illinois. The one that got racist and the little blonde gal that had to go pee, kept wanting to go pee. She does work. She does work at that crab shack, and her name's last name is Marriott, like the hotel. What was her first name? Leslie, or God Lord, I can't remember what her first name was.
So she didn't get fired or anything, or what?
No, I guess not. She still works there, is what I'm told. Why can't I pull her first name out of my ass?
Did she get to go pee yet?
Levi or Levy or whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
That's CK asked that. Yeah.
Yep.
So what happened with Hoyt?
I don't think anything's happened with Hoyt yet, right? Isn't it?
I thought you were looking.
His court's tomorrow, I believe. Right?
Oh, okay. Right.
The 26th, I believe.
Gotcha.
No, I was just checking on the condition of the
gentleman.
Stephen Hatch that he shot. Yeah, as best as I can find out. I mean, he's still breathing, so I don't know what the circumstances are, because it's hard to find out anything medical when the people closest aren't talking.
Yeah.
Wow, in the world, I can't find her name.
Vincent D'Onofrio, Diamond. Big fan of his acting.
What was today, CK? Hoyt's? It may have been. I was out of pocket today. I actually had to work like 10 hours today.
Causing egregious bodily harm. It was today.
It's preliminary.
Preliminary hearing?
Is that what it was? But that's what it was supposed to be.
Rain. Aggravated assault causing egregious bodily harm.
Some states are different. Some states have arraignment and show for cause. They'll call it show for cause or arraignment, or bind them over, which is preliminary. They'll do it a little bit differently.
Definitely a piece of shit.
I'll have to look into it here in a little bit. I wasn't home long enough before we started the live stream to really look into much anything. Check my emails, and that was it. Actually had to make a living today.
Yeah. How'd that work out?
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Well, you're one step ahead of me then. All right, gang.
I promise you it was more than I can get from here.
Yeah.
Floyd also a candidate for a new show.
New reality show about Passport. Yeah, he's a cretin, man. He's definitely has some weird, creepy vibes. Would not get in a van with that guy.
What this says.
I probably wouldn't get in a close space with any of those people, but I could say the same thing about certain creators too, so there it is.
625. Yeah, Raymond.
Are you what are you doing?
Yeah. I'm just looking up the Hoyt web stuff.
Gotcha.
Superior Court hearing 625-24. Arraignment, criminal. Yeah, just arraignment. Read the charges.
And did he what about the bail? Yeah, he does.
Still looking here. Trying to find an article that I don't have to go through a whole bunch of hoops. Okay.
Anyway, I really got to dip because I got to run over.
Yeah, I
get
need
some
to
cat
get
food
to
before the store closes.
I actually have to work again in the morning, so get these
All
things
right.
done tonight. All right, appreciate everybody being here. We'll put together some stuff for next week. That's not Corey Feldman. How's that? Or Howie.
Yeah,
I could handle Howie for a little while, but
yeah, Corey Feldman. He's difficult to tolerate.
all right, everybody.
All right,
Thanks for
gang.
coming by. We'll catch you next time. Thursday night, Dick Bag will have his show. So I guess I'm assuming.
Yeah, hopefully.
All right. Good night, everybody.